сьогодні буде дуже цікава і потужна розвиваюча подія, яка створена нами за участі Литовської спілки архітекторів для того, щоб розвинути міжнародний нетворкінг, для того, щоб залучати українських архітекторів до міжнародних проєктів, які у нас зараз так багато поширені і будуть поширюватися далі. Щоб ми зрозуміли, як ми можемо, як експерти, професіонали своєї справи, долучатися і бути на рівних з іноземними колегами, бути частинами міжнародних команд за бажанням участвувати в таких командах. Власне, це є основна мета – почати розуміти один одного, тому у нас сьогодні буде переклад українською, але я всім дуже раджу підтягувати англійську мову до більш високого рівня, щоб бути більш зрозумілими. Ось, у нас зібрався просто прекрасний лайнап, збір прекрасних і різних проєктів, які доповнять картинку на даний момент, що актуального зараз відбувається просто зараз. Хочу сказати, що у нас сьогодні перекладач Катерина Піддубна. Я дуже рада, що це не я. Мене звати Ольга Терефєєва, Національна спілка архітекторів України. Власне, я зараз представлю всіх спікерів і потім перейду на англійську, щоб вони розуміли мене. Сьогодні з нами великий друг української архітектурної спільноти Рута Лейтенайте, Рута координатор. Рута, I'll introduce you in Ukrainian and then we'll speak in English. Рута великий друг України, тому що промотує, протягує, залучає українських архітекторів, українську професійну спільноту у різні міжнародні проекти, про які вона сьогодні розкаже. Мабуть, про Юрій Херет ви вже могли чути. Це великий потужний проект, і завдяки зусиллям Рути він відбувається, вона його координує, притягує своєю енергією до результатів. Я перепрошую, щось голос мій сьогодні не на найкращому рівні. Сьогодні у нас також присутній Даніель Фогеншух. Даніель буде розповідати про ті можливості, які надає платформа Архє. І це архітектор, EDC-експерт. Він також представляє Архє платформу, яка є європейською платформою для конкурсів архітектурного дизайну та нетворкінгу. Це, власне, такий, як я розумію, архітектурний LinkedIn або Facebook, да, соціальна мережа для пошуку команд. І я вам дуже раджу уважно його послухати. Всі дані, як нею користуватися, сьогодні будуть розказані і надані вам для детального вивчення. Далі. Сьогодні з нами відомий вже в Україні Мартін Дюплантьє, архітектор та урбаніст, генеральний директор Мартін Дюплантьє Architects, Париж, Бордо та Львів, почесний президент Architects Association of France, засновник Foundation of the Arc for Ukraine, ARC-UA. І сьогодні з нами анонсована була Рут Шагіман, президент Ради архітекторів Європи, але Рута за збігом обставин не може долучитися. В неї ще накладка з її графіком, вона делегувала свої повноваження і всю інформацію, яку потрібно, вона передасть і розповість представник Ради архітекторів Європи. Власне, let me speak in English. I have a little introduction for our Ukrainian colleagues, and I understand that we have a strong connection with other foreign experts who want to be members of the and part of the teams. So we know that we would have a translation, and let us start from you, Ruta. Please, your turn. Words to you.
Thank you very much, Olga, and good morning to everyone. I'm really impressed to see how many of you are here, because this was not very timely announcement, but it's really proving that you do care about the reconstruction of Ukraine, and I'm very happy to see you on board. Before I start my presentation, I will just say greetings from the Architects Council of Europe President Ruth Shageman, who unfortunately could not be with us today, but probably you know that Architects Council of Europe has been with Ukraine since the war has started, so it's more than 2 years already. And we had accepted National Union of Architects of Ukraine as our observer member. And we have also developed different projects under the Task Force Solidarity with Ukraine. So one of them is Euroherit project that you are aware of. Architects Council of Europe is also partner of the new initiatives that I will announce today and explain a little bit about them. So very warm greetings on behalf of Ruth Shageman, and she really hopes that this collaboration between Ukrainian and European Union architects will grow exponentially. Thank you so much, Olga. And maybe I can start my presentation now. So
Yes, sure.
bear with me. It will be a little bit long, but I have a lot of information I will share. Okay. So we will start with the first news, which were announced during the NEB LAB festival in Brussels. And this is the public infrastructure for Ukraine, a new European Bauhaus laboratory. Probably not all of you know what is the European Bauhaus. So for those who don't know, or for those who want some reminder, I will just say that the European Bauhaus is an initiative launched by the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. It's a creative and interdisciplinary initiative that connects the European Green Deal to our living spaces and experiences. And you may know that European Green Deal is a very, very big program that aims to make Europe the first carbon neutral region in the world. The new European Bauhaus initiative calls on all of us to imagine and build together a sustainable and inclusive future that is beautiful for our eyes, minds, and souls. Ursula von der Leyen said that if the European Green Deal has a soul, then it is the European Bauhaus, which has led to an explosion of creativity across our union. So inside the European Bauhaus, we understand that beautiful are the places, practices, and experiences that are enriching, inspired by art and culture, responding to needs beyond functionality, sustainable, in harmony with nature, the environment, and our planet, and inclusive, encouraging a dialogue across cultures, disciplines, genders, and ages. Now, what is the European Bauhaus Laboratory? The laboratory is a co-creation space at the service of the new European Bauhaus community for the delivery of beautiful, sustainable, and inclusive projects to improve our daily lives. The lab is where the new European Bauhaus is implemented in concrete and tangible projects. But to put it in simple words, the new European Bauhaus laboratory is an virtual platform of different organizations and experts that are dedicated to one issue, and that issue can be selected by the participants themselves. We thought that Ukrainian topic is very important and that European Commission together with new European Bauhaus community should engage into this, so we established the new lab. What is the aim of this new NEB LAB? So we want to establish a hub of a professional knowledge and incubator for case studies, paving a way for democratic, open, transparent, quality-oriented processes to obtain the best design and implementation schemes for the public infrastructure in Ukraine. And also we want to connect Ukrainians who need public infrastructure and Europeans who are willing to donate or contribute. So those stakeholders are to be meeting in our lab. So we will learn, explore, and adapt the lessons and experiences of different methods of getting the best design for a public object in Ukraine. Those relevant lessons would end up as recommendations for local and state administration to amend Ukrainian legislation to ensure quality processes and results when rebuilding public infrastructure in Ukraine. Who are we? So coordinators, the founders of the NEB LAB are Architects Association of Lithuania, Architects Council of Europe, and Roskvit Urban Coalition for Ukraine. These three organizations have status of NEB community. And other founders are NEB Friends, Ministry of Economy and Innovation of Lithuania, State Agency for Restoration and Development of Infrastructure of Ukraine, and Central Projects Management Agency of Lithuania. We have also a partner, Austrian Chamber of Architects, which are leading the Creative Europe project. Archie and Daniel will explain more about the project. This list is not extensive, so we are planning in upcoming months to list all the stakeholders from Ukraine, also from European Union, and to have our consortium much bigger than it is now. What are the milestones? So what we will do in this NEB Lab? So we have already a pilot project, which is Future School for Ukraine, which aims to create an adaptive technical project of a new school for Ukraine. And with this competition, we will learn and we will map the lessons. So we will compile a manual on shaping the inclusive, quality-oriented process of creating public infrastructure projects for Ukraine. But Future School for Ukraine is not the only project that we plan to develop, so we are open for starting and developing other projects and initiatives. So if any organization comes with some idea to develop something in Ukraine related with public infrastructure, we are very open and eager to contribute. Why public infrastructure? Our topic of the lab, because the need is there and the need is really huge. The damage done to the public infrastructure is more than $55 billion. And the challenge while rebuilding public infrastructure is the community's participation, which is not satisfactory so far in Ukraine, as far I was told by the experts. So there is a huge need to involve communities more in the process of design and decision-making while creating public infrastructure in Ukraine. So how do we respond? We respond with the first pilot project that I mentioned. This is the Future School for Ukraine project. What is it? This is a joint initiative of Central Project Management Agency of Lithuania, Architects Association of Lithuania, and State Agency for Reconstruction and Development of Infrastructure of Ukraine. Why the school? Because the war that Russia is continuing in Ukraine is an existential war where schools have been intentionally targeted, not only to destroy the facilities themselves, but also to undermine society's foundation. In Ukraine, we have every 7th school damaged, and millions of Ukrainian children are without access to education today. However, we cannot wait until the war is over, because the consequences will be really severe. And people are not coming back to the country unless their children can return to safe offline education. So we need that infrastructure for schools. And today we have a unique opportunity to replace destroyed schools with even better ones, putting that famous motto of Ursula von der Leyen, "Build back better," into actual practice. So once again, the aim of the initiative Future School for Ukraine is to prepare an adaptive technical project for a new school in Ukraine and to promote it for potential donors. The deliverables of this initiative will be not only the technical design itself, but also the process, how we do it. So we will promote an inclusive, transparent, and democratic process of obtaining the best architectural design for a public building in Ukraine. The principle of this initiative is that Ukrainian and European Union professionals, visionaries, and society co-create future school projects that suits Ukrainian realities and expectations the best. How we reach that? We are using tools of a workshop. Last year in autumn, we had a workshop together with educators, architects, and other professionals from Ukraine and also Lithuania, where we were discussing the vision for a new school of Ukraine. This vision was integrated into the competition brief, and we announced the Quality Technical Design Project Open International Architectural Competition. Why the competition? Because during the decades, architectural competition proved to be the most democratic, fair, equal selection process, where evaluation is based on quality criteria, not the lowest price, and the evaluation is professional. And that's how we get the high-quality architectural design idea as a basis for the technical project. So here we are. with an open call international architectural competition that calls the architects to help to transform the educational landscape in war-affected Ukraine. Top 3 projects will be awarded from 8,000 euros to 12,000 euros, but that's not only it. The winner will receive a 300,000 euros contract to develop their innovative school project design. We have some conditions. As in the whole initiative, we prioritize collaboration between Ukrainian and European Union architects. We have a requirement that teams must include at least one architect licensed in Ukraine and one international architect, encouraging worldwide collaboration. There's still plenty of time, 1 month. The deadline is 23rd of May. And here we are with a professional jury. So the entries would be evaluated by the jury composed by professionals, by architecture professionals, which are architects from Lithuania, Rolandas Palekas and Victoria Blažienė, architect from Finland, Helena Sandman, architect from Ukraine, Viktor Zotov, and architect from Sweden, which is the Vice President of Architects Council of Europe and also the co-leader of White Architecture Office that was announced as the best architectural office in 2023 by the platform Design, Carl Backstrand. And the rest of the jury were delegates from the Central Projects Management Agency and the Restoration Agency of Ukraine. So we will have Mustafa Masinayem himself. We will have Arturas Žarnovskis, who is the Co-Create Future of Ukraine Program Manager in CPMA in Lithuania. And we will have Anna Novosad, co-founder of SAVED and former Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine. So the jury is really very well equipped with the knowledge that is needed. With this project that will be ready to implement and free to use, we would really implement the principle of Build Back Better, sustainable, safe, and innovative schools. Ukrainian communities would rebuild with high-quality adaptive projects they otherwise could not afford. This project will be accessible for free. They will not have to pay for any technical design. In this way, we will help to save time and financial resources. And we will get facilitated fundraising for Ukraine's education recovery. Because in many cases, when you are opting for some grants or for some funds to help to build you something, you have to have already technical design ready. So we call for the architects to become a part of a very meaningful change in Ukraine. And it's not only us, it's also the European Commission President herself. We were participating, as I mentioned, with this project at European Bauhaus Festival in Brussels a couple of weeks ago. And Ursula von der Leyen endorsed Lithuania's projects implemented by CPMA and Lithuanian Architects Association as one of the impactful initiatives to reshape Ukraine's education. So she said from the stage at the opening speech that Future School for Ukraine initiative provides a free-to-use architectural design. It is for new, modern, and inclusive schools to be built across the country. And she mentioned that this initiative is one of the best examples of how NEB values can be implemented on the ground. So if she believes in the competition, I think that the architects should believe it as well. Here you can see on the screen the QR code of the website and also the website itself, where you can access all the competition documents, all the competition information needed. Now I've got some very, very practical information, as I can understand the main part of our audience today are the architects who would be interested in participation in this competition. So I will just run very briefly through some instructions that you will be available to find on the mentioned website, and also they will be shared with you after this webinar. So if you want to participate, what you have to do first is to register in Central Public Procurement System of Lithuania, because this is the way that you would communicate with the competition organizers. It is free of charge, and there are some instructions prepared. I will not go through them right now because you will get that information. It's quite easy. So 3 steps and you are there. If you are not there, you have some help desk ready for you. If they don't help you, you just contact people from CPMA who are willing to help you. Then how to submit a proposal. It's also through CPMA, through CVP system, but not only. So you register to the system, and then you upload some documents to the system, but also you have to send the panels of your proposal physically. So be sure that you do understand correctly. You have to upload some information on the system electronically, but also you have to send the panels to Lithuania. And I know that it could be challenging for Ukrainian partners, but as all of the teams should have at least one partner not from Ukraine, that would be just my practical recommendation, that probably post and couriers work better in Europe and everywhere outside Ukraine. So probably you should count on your partners when sending this material to Lithuania. So thank you very much. Here I end up my presentation. If there will be more questions, then you can write them down, and our team in CPMA, they are directing those questions. If we have time, we answer them afterwards. And now I stop my presentation, and Olga, back to you.
Yes, I forget to say that you can ask, and please ask and write your questions in the chat, or write the questions after the meeting by emails or our partners, and we'll certainly find a way to answer them. And the next speaker is Daniel Fugenschuk, I'm sorry, architect, ADC expert, expert, and he would tell us how to reach this platform to be a member of a professional community. Daniel, please.
Thank you, Olga. Thank you, Ruth, also for the interesting presentation. We prepared some presentation for you, so I think, yeah, here we go. Just maybe put it on full screen as well, please. Thank you. So ArchE, as already mentioned, is a platform we started to establish some while ago, just a few years ago, with the following partners. That is the Austrian Chamber of Architects and Engineers, which I'm the president of. We are acting as a lead partner in this project, and it's supported by the Creative Europe funding, which we established to get there. Other partners are, as you can see, the ACE, Architects Council of Europe, the Croatian Chamber, the Chamber of Architects Spatial Planning in Slovenia, Cyprus Architects, the German Bundesarchitektenkammer, that's a chamber there for the architects. Then we have two universities, one in Eindhoven in the Netherlands, one in Spain, in Valencia. One company who is basically providing IT support, which is called SEPA. They are based in Austria as well, and the Hungarian Chamber. So this group of partners wanted to get closer on the date on this issue of architectural design competitions, which you will hear more about in a short time. We also have cooperation partners, which is the UAA, that's the Global Architects Organization, the Czech Chamber of Architects, the South Tyrol Chamber of Architects, that's in Italy, the Swiss SCA, and also the French Chamber of Architects. Next, please. So, as mentioned before, we are all coming together to advocate the architectural design competitions, which, as Ruta mentioned, is, in our point of view, the fairest and most quality-oriented way of procuring projects. So we are considering in this also to support small practices and female architects, because the competitions should be open to everyone, and small practices and female architects get a better chance to establish themselves through their projects. Next, please. So we have 3 lines of activities, basically. One is analyzing the country specifics. So each of the countries has a different history in architectural competitions. We in Austria, for example, in Central Europe, we are using competitions since the middle of the 19th century. For example, the city planning of Vienna was done through an open and anonymous competition. And so every country, every part has different ways of running competitions, and that's one of the aims we are looking at, so we can learn from each other. The other thing, the next column, is to create tools to connect experts. So basically, if you want to do a competition, as for example the future school for Ukraine, you can have a look and find equivalent partners in the country you want to take part of in some ADC. Or indeed, if you win the competition, you might want to find a partner afterwards to actually get the building completed. And then we have communication tools. We want to advocate and also promote architectural design competitions on a political level. Next, please. At the moment, we are running a couple of projects now. For example, maps, where you can see the partners on the maps online. These studies are at the moment developed, so you can already use some of them. You can also join the network already, but they will be completed until February 25. So there's still a lot of things going on, and there are just the first papers now available. There's also glossary there, and an architect's needs report. That means a glossary means that you can get a precise translation of terms which are used in competitions or in public procurement, so you know what's the sense of the meaning or the meaning of the words you're using. We also, this is already online, so you can have a look at some of the languages which are online at the moment. Then we have a SWOT analysis tool, which I will talk about later on. We have an interactive ADC map, and we established already an Arch-E network, so you're welcome to join this network personally or with your company. While the studies and other processes still create data and findings, the tools will be refined throughout the project. Networking with other initiatives and projects to create synergies in corporations is another thing we are looking for. So this is also one of the points we are here today for. The UR Herit is a sister project for us, so it would be good that we join forces and work together on this. We are also starting to address an international public through communication activities. Next, please. So Arch-E provides general information about the project. That's a website, reporting and reports and research papers, as well as the network, interactive map, and the SWOT analysis tool, and the glossary already mentioned. What is the network? You can see on the right here a map with already a number of experts joining. The idea is to have to form transnational teams to take part in competitions, to exchange communication or information on country-specific systems, and to consult in ADC organizations. Therefore, we have 4 labels here. They are also put together on the with the 4 icons. One is if you're interested in ADC participation, you would choose this online. If you're open for a jury, if you want to join juries, you can do this as well. there is also an icon for organizations, so people who want to organize competitions, and also for consultants to be able to advocate themselves. So what do you put in on this network? You place your name, your office, your location, where you're based, your qualification, your fields of expertise, and the project category. One of the aims of the ADC maps is providing directions to national chambers, procurement platforms, and jurisdictional sources. So this is also meant to address